Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Yay, soul tribe reading. So if you don't know what a soul tribe reading is and you're new to my channel, my soul tribe reading doesn't resonate with the larger collective. It resonates with a smaller collective. And I do some rambling. No, not rambling. Grr, channeling. I lost a cookie to my ego monster there. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I haven't done a soul tribe reading in a few days and I was missing your energy and I was missing interacting with you all. So here I am. And I chose this deck. Before we begin, right before I started your reading, I was listening to music and a song came on. Well, no kidding. A song came on. I was listening to music. The song Float by KT Tunstall. Tunstall. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Hang on. It is from a movie, but I want to read you the lyrics. All right. So with this song, hearing it, I decided to choose this deck, and this is about, opening up to your light. It's about opening up to, well, the brilliance of you, your spirituality, whatever that means for you. And on the bottom of the deck, we have, there is a reason you have those dreams, the mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary. So you could be someone who's trying to trust in this journey. I find right now it's very interesting how there's almost, I'm not sure if it's because Mercury is in retrograde or it's because of the eclipse, but there's a lot of people doubting the spiritual journey right now. There's a lot of people, it almost feels like there's a wall that's gone up, in my opinion, energetically, where a bunch of people are now questioning it and possibly giving up because maybe they've hit some kind of roadblock. Anyway, this song was playing and it caught my ear. Just listen to this because this is a song that my kids loved. It's from a movie that they used to watch, and it's been a really long time since I actually listened to the lyrics, and probably I haven't heard this song since like maybe 5 years ago. Anyway, it just hit different this time. So the lyrics float. KT Tunstall, whatever. I'm gonna fall head first and fast like an avalanche. Maybe I'll land, maybe I'll crash. I will take that chance. And when I heard that line, I was like, that sounds like the Fool card. I'm seeing the Light Seers Tarot where the person is, I probably couldn't find it right now. I'm seeing the Fool card in the Light Seers Tarot where the person is standing over the edge, holding on to a wand. The wand is connected to communication with spirit, and it feels like, of course. Why are you hiding from me? Yeah, there you are. Anyway, that line, I'm gonna fall head first and fast like an avalanche. Maybe I'll land, maybe I'll crash. I will take that chance. And what I learn about tarot all the time, but one thing I recently learned was that when someone is holding a wand, it can represent, especially the King and Queen of Wands, it can represent their connection to spirit and their communication with their own spirit guide or their own intuition, their higher self, whatever it is that you believe in. And we see this person holding on to the wand, and it's like everything, the universe is telling them to let go and to just surrender to the spiritual journey. Anyway. Because there's nothing but air in between me and everything, nothing to keep me from flying aimlessly, shamelessly laughing at destiny, and no one knows how high I go or what makes the atmosphere glow. I could follow the narrow road, but maybe I'll let it all go and just float. I'm gonna live headstrong and wild like a golden child. All the while, I'll be taking each breath with a mile-wide smile. 'Cause there's nothing but ground below. Why should I take it slow? Status quo isn't so great, and I know I can light up the sky like a thunderbolt. No one knows how high I go or what makes the atmosphere glow. I could follow the narrow road, but maybe I'll let it all go and just float. And anyway, it just continues on like that. Anyway, I thought of, how to awaken, you really have to surrender to the journey. And I just feel a lot of energy right now, people, maybe because of the eclipse. I feel like some people are hitting that wall where they're not sure if they should surrender. I think a lot of people, when it comes to tarot, it's like they think that it's almost like some people are watching it because they want their person to come back. And part of, especially with counterparts, part of the counterpart reunion is you surrendering to your own journey and learning about yourself and falling in love with yourself. Anyway, you guys know me. You know that's what I'm about around here. So, because of that song and that float, it's from a Tinkerbell movie, you guys. But listen, those Tinkerbell movies are actually quite interesting. Anyway, because of that song and the person saying, I'm going to jump head first, like an avalanche, we see this, it just made me think of this deck, and we see this image where this person's crown chakra is open, and because it's open, it's growing, it's expanding. Anyway, it's been a few days since I did a soul tribe reading, and I feel almost like I'm blushing just because I haven't channeled like this in a few days. I feel all giddy. It's funny because this is what I wanted to do. It's Sunday, and I was explaining to my partner this morning, I'm trying to be honest with people about the struggles that I'm having, and that it has nothing to do with them. I said to my partner, sometimes because we have kids and because it's the weekend and you work like a Monday to Friday job, sometimes I feel pressure about, spending all my time, how can I explain this? When I used to be unhappy, I spent a lot of time sleeping, and I spent a lot of time watching TV, and kind of just, it was either cleaning, working, or watching TV, and that was it. And today I was just feeling pressure from no one except myself, and that's what I made clear to my partner. I was like, I'm just expressing how I feel. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with that pressure that I feel within myself, because I feel like I'm obligated to give my time and energy to what everybody else wants to do because it's Sunday, because it's the weekend. And I made it very clear to him. I said, it has nothing. I said, you didn't say anything. It's not you. It's something that I'm struggling with, because clearly that has to do with the giving of my own energy. If I'm making any sense to anybody, please send me a sign. Anyway, so I'm putting this pressure on myself, by myself, to give to everyone else. And I realized this morning, I need to check in with myself, because it shows that I'm, for the past few days, for example, I've had a sick household and I've been taking care of everybody. And it showed me this morning when I started to feel like, why doesn't it matter what I want to do? George Bailey, I want to do what I want to do. I realized that it had nothing to do with anyone around me. It had to do with what was going on inside me and the fact that my cup was feeling empty and I had let it empty. And so, you know, I said to my partner, I need to spend some time like doing what fulfills my soul, this, so that I can, you know, fill my cup up again so that I can share it with others. Does that make sense to anyone? Anyway, sometimes I feel like, well, for me, I'll just say it for me because I can't speak for anybody else. But I feel like sometimes when we're feeling like we're lacking something, or we're feeling like people are taking us for granted, it's because we're overgiving of ourselves, or I'm having, Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm telling you, I am having a hard time communicating. I really am. I hit a wall with communication the other day, and I had to say, like, every time I try and think about communicating about this, I cannot. Be gentle with yourselves, my friends. I guess that's my whole point. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But sometimes I watched this thing about victim mentality and about how victim mentality can become addictive. And I can see how that is true, especially with who I was in the past. And like I said, sometimes when we're feeling empty, we start to feel like it's somebody else's fault that we're feeling that way. When really we need to reconnect with ourselves. If that makes any sense, that's a miracle. Red SUV just drove by. Maybe one of my soul tribe people have a red SUV. Hello. Anyway, so I don't know. That channeling came up for a reason. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a few days since I've been here, and I feel like my ego monster is wanting some cookies. There's no cookies here for you, ego monster. Not today. You already got one. Go away. All right. You know, the healing journey is not, you know, I thought, oh, I'm on the healing journey. It'll be like smooth sailing. No, the healing journey is like up and down, upside down, roller coaster. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's a ride, all right. Those of you who know what I mean, know what I mean. So we have the Lover. Oh, geez. 7. It is safe to surrender to the good feelings. The Lover, Aphrodite. Is it Aphrodite or Aphrodite? Word fairy, please. I love you. Sending you love. Passion, abundance. So what is happening here, you guys? What is happening now? I am indulging in feelings of joy and pleasure, and it's on page 30. So interesting. That's Empress energy. So just, I don't know what this card says, but just from what I was talking about, you know, I can see how I can take a message from that. It is good. It is safe to surrender to the good feelings. And, you know, it talks about, I am indulging in feelings of joy and pleasure. And I was talking about how that's what I wanted to do today. And instead of just saying that to myself, deep down, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And instead of just admitting that to myself, I kind of started, my ego started, well, maybe you should do this with that person, and maybe you should do this with them. And, you know, it's the weekend and they want to do, like, you know what I mean? And I made that decision this morning to surrender to what my soul and my body was telling me. Just like the other day where I took a break, or I took a day off from reading tarot because I was processing something and I needed to take that time. And one thing that I wanted to mention is that a reader that I really like, posted something this morning, and it talked about how it seems like some people, it's almost like as a society, we were taught that it's noble to overwork yourself and to always be moving, and it should be more noble to take time for ourselves and to focus on ourselves, if that makes sense. Anyway, Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, pleasure, and beauty. Interesting. Sorry. The Greek goddess of love, pleasure, and beauty rules this card. Sometimes we seek abundance on the outside when really the most abundant experiences happen within, if we allow them to, like feelings of bliss, excitement, romance, and passion for the good of life. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to fully surrender or indulge in beautiful feelings because we don't trust them. We fear they could end, which may lead to devastation, or we think we don't deserve them. It takes bravery to feel the full spectrum of emotions. Every time I see the word spectrum, I'm like, shout out to my spectrum peeps. The taller the tree, the deeper the roots. The higher the heaven, the lower the hell. You cannot live filled with fear. Humans are here to experience deeply. Allow yourself to become filled with passion and romanticize your life, yourself, your love, your projects, your future, your work, your art. Appreciate these things fully and deeply. If you get excited about something or someone, let yourself. It is safe to surrender. You will be more than okay. You will feel truly alive. Let the butterflies transform you from within, bringing with them magic, elevation, and power, new things and beginnings. Look within yourself for the abundance you seek. A sure way to magnetize yourself to even more of it. Now is the time to fully embrace your goddess energy. Like Aphrodite, lavish yourself with pleasurable feelings and lean into romance. If you've pulled this card, it could also mean there's a lover or a potential lover in your life that you've been hesitant about. Is this fear true, or are you just scared? If you have been closing yourself off, maybe it is time to open yourself up to the idea of true and passionate romance, but only if it's going to add value to your life. So, there could be a potential lover, or there is a lover that you've been hesitant about. You know, counterpart journey, a lot of feminines are hesitant to surrender to the belief in the journey that that person could change. You know, perhaps you're someone who's struggling, especially my divine feminine, struggling with believing in your spirituality and then believing in the logic. You know, it's so, like I said, it's like there's a wall that's gone up, in my opinion. And a bunch of people are hitting this wall and questioning spirituality. And just because their person hasn't come back. And I don't know if that, like I said, that could be the eclipse. But someone left me such an important comment this morning, and they said that, you know, there's some readers out there that really put down the counterpart journey and discourage people, and that she was saying, they were saying, don't want to gender you, they were saying that when they started listening to me and started their own healing journey, they noticed good things started happening in their life and they couldn't deny it. Anyway, there's a lot of, you know, it reminds me of like he said, she said, or they said, they said. And all you can do is choose your own path. No one can tell you that if you surrender to this journey that it's going to bring your counterpart back. No one can promise you that if you surrender to this journey, you're going to hit abundance. I can tell you that I believe it and that I have surrendered, and it's why I feel so passionate about it, because I am walking, living, breathing proof that there's something more powerful in the universe than I ever thought. And I have spent years leaning into it, and all I can do is try and help other people through that transition, because like I said, there will come a point where people hit a wall and they no longer believe in it, or their ego takes over, whatever. Anyway, the logical mind, I even struggle with it. Like, I can even still hear my old logical brain right now whispering, like, this is all a bunch of crap, and believe in science. And I know that science backs some of this. I'm not saying it doesn't. But like, I hear those opinions, but then I look at the people around me with those opinions and they're not happy. You know, they're not healed. They don't feel content just being at peace with themselves or at home with themselves. They always need constant, oh my gosh, the channeling is strong today. They need like constant distractions and constant like buying things. And anyway, I'm someone who's fully surrendered to this journey. And like I said, I've seen myself transform into someone completely different, into my, I don't know when you hit your higher self, but I'd like to believe I'm on the path and they're holding my hand. My higher self is now holding my hand. But anyway, whew, let's go. I'm not going to apologize for the channeling. I'm not going to apologize. No cookies for you. So what do we need to hear today, Spirit? What do we need to hear today? The meaning is in the middle, 22, memento mori, life, presence, depth. So it's really interesting. I can't remember. I love this. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. Me to you. It's okay. I don't know what's going on either. I'm just surrendering to it. The meaning is in the middle, and I'm going to look at this card. But one thing I wanted to say is this is kind of, the imagery kind of reminds me of what I'm talking about where some people are hitting a wall right now, where it's like they're just about to hit a moment of clarity, but they hit that wall of fear. It's like, you know, it's Buddha said, I don't know anything about Buddha, but I saw a quote by Buddha the other day. And it said that right before he hit his fulfillment or his higher self, whatever it is, that's when the demons were the loudest. That's when the tests were the hardest. That's when that wall went up. Anyway. Oh, I missed you guys. I'm not trying to be funny, but I kind of feel... No, I am trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean. But I kind of feel like, you know, Entangled, where she's like stroking Rapunzel's hair and singing, and like her energy is changing. That's how I feel when I'm with you guys, but not in, you know, the selfish way that mother sucked energy out of Rapunzel's hair. I'm here to share the energy, not suck it away from you. My heart is pounding. So we have life, meaning, presence, depth, 222. I consciously live a meaningful and enriched life. Are you feeling, living, creating, and loving others deeply lately? You are being called to gain more perspective and presence, to enrich your existence and live your life like a living prayer, to marvel at ordinary things, tiny miracles all around you, and you are one of them. If we could truly grasp this, many moments would expand with bliss. We would be stunned by the moss in a forest. Okay, so listen, this is what I mean. This is what my life is like now. Like I do find moss growing on something beautiful. I take you guys know every bird I see, I wonder or look up, what does it mean? What does that bird mean? What does it symbolize? When you awaken to the light, I know I sound crazy pants, everything is more beautiful. And that's what makes it harder when you like go into the city and you see everybody with their flashy cars and rushing around, being impatient with each other, trying to get to their next whatever. When there's so much beauty all around us. I know I sound, I'm off my rocker, but I'm high on life, you know? I'm no longer like this, I'm not drunk. I get way more fulfillment from this than alcohol, I'll tell you that. Anyway. We would be stunned by the moss in the forest or the way our coffee cup feels warm in our hands. Looking in the mirror, we would drop to our knees in tears of gratitude, fascinated by the fact that we are human, an ancient soul on this gorgeous planet within the cosmos. We would be awestruck that we exist with this complex and curious consciousness. This card can also be a positive omen that a lively and vital new energy is coming or already has. It brings excitement, creativity, realizations, passion, and the miraculous. So interesting, we have something lively and exciting is about to happen. And there's also the energy of love, you guys, coming through. Invite the fullness of it in. It doesn't need to be perfect or planned. So it's kind of like that. It's safe for you to love. It's kind of like just give in to the excitement, give in to the feeling. Maybe you're meeting someone new. Maybe you're reconnecting with someone. Listen to your soul, not your head, my friends, not your head. Again, I watch those reality shows and I, look at human behavior. It's so interesting. And what was I going to say? There's so many times I hear people say, my heart's telling me one thing and my mind's telling me something else. I'm going to go with my mind. It's like, that's not the right answer. Anyway, in the medieval period, Latin philosophers came up with the phrase memento mori, meaning remember that you die. A memento mori is something that serves to remind us of the impermanence of life. For anybody who's just lost someone, my heart goes out to you. I know there's a few of you. I'm sending you lots of love and a hug. The idea of this was created to wake us up to the miracle of existence and to inspire us, to gently remind us that one day, la mariposa de la muerte, the butterfly of death, will softly land upon our shoulders. It is natural to have fear in the unknown, but it is the duality of life and death that makes this meaningful. Too much time creates numbness. No time at all creates a void. We need both. What if we could make peace with them? We would feel more alive than ever. And this is, just let me look at this for a minute. This is an Earth card. And Earth cards, hang on, we're going on a journey, hang on. Earth cards, number 222, trust, divinity, unity. Earth cards, nourishment, stability, femininity, security, peace, harmony, strength. We are invited to ground ourselves, keep growing, and trust in our own roots, to embody the spirit of nature. And the surrender to love card was on 7. So fire cards, number 111, energy of alignment, balance, synchronicity, action, assertion, transmutation, self-belief, love, power, masculinity, solar plexus. This symbol is about passion and feeling inspired, powerful, and encouraged to take action. And that card mentioned a love or new love. Interesting. All right. Seriously, it's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. Seriously. What else do we need to hear? What else do we need to hear? We have, there's a place within me, still, calm, steady, eternal. And it says eternal center, guru, protection, peace, 25, which equals 7. The love card was 7 as well. It's really strange, you guys. I'm only going to tell you this, but you know how sometimes readers say they smell things? I know that's a sense of, I don't know the term for it, but I've started smelling things, so that's strange. Like right now I smell, and I don't have kids in diapers, but like I smell, and it's not even like, it's not like, I'm a mom, so this is going to be too much information, but it's not like it's a poopy diaper. It's just the smell of diapers I'm smelling right now, which again, makes no sense because I don't have babies in my house. All right, so this is on page 88. And this would be an air card. So let's read what the air card is. So you've got air, you've got fire, earth, and air. So the air cards, number 333, mind, body, soul, Holy Trinity. Thought, mind, creativity, soul, transcendence, flight, freedom, sorry, lightheartedness, third eye chakra. This element invites us to uplift ourselves and elevate our consciousness at a quantum level. And if anybody ever wants to hear a funny story, I could tell you about my quantum leaping, which I did mention in one reading, which I don't know where it is now. My advice is if you're going to quantum leap, research first. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself, it'll be like you're on a plane with a bunch of people who start acting like they're putting on some kind of creative dance show or something with weird breathing, and you'll feel really out of place. If you know, you know. There is an eternal and loving sanctuary within me. So coming into union with yourself, I'm hearing. The sanctuary, the oasis, the peaceful valley, the Shire. Oh, shout out to my Lord of the Rings fans. The Shire. You know what? When I first saw Lord of the Rings, I was like, I should be from the Shire or an elf, one of those two. There is a place you can go, a place within you that is eternal, infinite, and still, no matter what is happening around you. Remember how I said more people need to learn how to be at peace with themselves rather than distracting themselves with all these other materialistic things anyway. A place within you that is internal, eternal, infinite, and still, no matter what is happening around you. When chaos and darkness surround you or entrap your mind, remember your center. This is the way of the warrior, the leader, the guru. Guru? This is how they keep their composure, returning and remaining in this steady core. This innermost center is at all times connected with the everything, the all, the great spirit, to every star and every seed. Our eternal home lies within us. We can always access this point, especially through our power of breathing, our spiritual practices, and the steady cultivation of peace. This is the card of the guru. Guru? I don't know how to say that. It doesn't make sense to me. We all have within. Is it guru or guru? I don't know. The Eternal Center card has an energy of never-ending light that shines within the darkness. It is the crystal amulet that glows brightly when you are lost in the cave. It is the deep inner knowledge that no matter what, everything is going to be okay. The feeling of home, deep and far within your being. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. I would love to sit here and say that, oh yeah, I live from this place. I'm learning how to. I've seen glimpses of this place. I've spent vacation time in this place, and I can't wait to live in this place. I'm serious. So that's, you know, the spiritual journey is not about getting your ex back. It's not about, the spiritual journey is about coming home to yourself. That's the whole freaking point. It's the whole point. And sometimes people, especially with counterpart journeys, they're like, I'm going to believe in this until it doesn't make sense to believe in it. And then they hit that wall and they're like, well, this doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to, that's crap. That's, you know, that's not true. I don't believe in that. Anyway, the whole point is to find yourself. That's the whole point. And like I said, I would love to sit here and tell you that I live from this place, but I do not. Someday I will. Right now, I'm just allowed to visit. Or I'm just learning how to visit it. I don't know. We all have an inner guru or spiritual sage. Call upon them when you need them most. I was just thinking of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. You know, how Link called on all the sages. Just saying. I used to think that is so cool. I wish I had sages to call on. I did. Summon their forces of wisdom, grace, and peace. You may be a human now, but you have been a soul for much, much longer. Can't you feel that? In times of desperation or disgrace, remember this sacred truth. This card can also be a positive affirmation. You have done much of the spiritual and psychological work that has led you to or will soon lead you to a steady of peace within you. This is what I mean. Like, you have to work to get there. And that's what people don't understand. They think that if they just believe in everything and they're like, oh yeah, I see the signs, I see the synchronicities, that it will bring their person back or it will bring them to this level of enlightenment. But there has to be reflection. There has to be, like this says, spiritual and psychological work that you do on yourself. My door just blew open. Did you hear that? That was my outside door blowing open. Unexpected something, maybe? No matter the chaos surrounding you, a steady center will remain. You will remain at that center. So, I'm going to read you the Manifestation Enhancer, and it's on page 90, which is all about being at home with yourself, hermit energy, you know, sitting in your cave of darkness and learning how to love yourself and be okay in that cave by yourself. Anyway, create practices and daily routines in your life that bring you back to your center. Prayer, meditation, chanting, yoga, dancing, exercise, creating. It doesn't have to be something traditional. It can be something unique if it works for you. Research the philosophies, biographies, and teachers of gurus, blah, blah, blah. Find out what they know, or rather what they have remembered. So, you know, for me, I definitely meditate. I dance. As you guys know, I dance in my bathroom. And I create. This is part of what I create. And it really does ground me. Like I said, I felt like I needed to come replenish my fountain or whatever. All right, let's get another one. What does my soul friend group need to hear? My soul besties. I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. Yes! You stand up in your power and you say, screw you to your ego monster. I love this. It's standing in your power. 8, strength. I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. It's like I said, some people hit that wall and they hit that wall and they don't pass it. Others break through. And they say, I'm not gonna underestimate what's happening to me anymore. I'm going to give into it. I'm going to follow where my higher self is telling me to go, even though it makes no logical sense to anyone or to me. And that's when you truly step into your power and you transform, and your intuition grows bigger and your gifts grow stronger. Beautiful. Again, some people are not willing to do the work, and that's part of the sad part of, for me, you know, at first I was on this spiritual high of uplifting people, and then I got kind of, you guys know, in my comment section, I got pulled down for a while by the negative comments, the lack of belief. And I think for me as a healer, the hardest thing for me to see is when it's almost like I imagine like all of these little butterflies hatching and flying up, flying up, flying up. And then there's just one last obstacle, maybe of branches I'm seeing, where the butterflies have to make it through the branches and then they can be free and evolve. And that's kind of, as a healer, what it's like for me. I see these butterflies rising, and then I see some of them, you know, getting stuck at that last hurdle, and I just want to take those sticks out so they can free themselves, but they have to find their own way through that blockage, if that makes any sense. It's on page 34. I trust in the magic and power within me. Yeah, you do. And this is on page 34, 35. So we do have 8. Anyway, if you have pulled this card, you are entering a powerful and pivotal era of your life. Royal energy of the king and queen. Yes, 34, empress and emperor. Divine feminine, divine masculine energy. Your highest self is so proud of you. You are undergoing a spiritual and psychological transformation. And what did this card say? You guys, this one talks about transformation, a death, and then evolving. This one talks about doing the spiritual and psychological work. And then this one talks about spiritually and psychologically transforming. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You are undergoing a spiritual and psychological transformation after a journey of obstacles. And what was I just talking about? The obstacle of the sticks, where some butterflies don't make it through. I don't know why I'm seeing Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when he like has the he has the bubble juice and like he's way up at the top about to be crushed by the fan. And then they burp their way down. So weird, but that's interesting because people who channel burp to release energy. That's so interesting. Weird. That was a weird little tangent. Though it may feel new and unfamiliar, it is a potent place for you to grow, take action, and trust yourself more than you ever have before. Do you see how beautiful that sunrise is? It brings with it so many possibilities, adventure, and excitement. Be brave. Try something new. You've got this. Stop feeding the demon of doubt in your head. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing, because I always say stop feeding your ego monster cookies. That's what I always say to you guys. That's amazing. Stop feeding the demon of doubt in your head. Instead, give it love and watch it turn into an angel. It's okay to hit a learning curve. It's okay to make mistakes, especially when you accept accountability for them and try and do better next time, while giving yourself more grace, compassion, and forgiveness. You're not going to get it all right or perfect. And remember how I said I thought when I healed, oh, I'm healed now, it's just going to be smooth sailing, and it's not. You still get triggered. People still trigger you and bring up your old self. That old self, you know, still lingers on for a while. And it's learning how to find that eternal center so that that old self doesn't make it through the screening process. You know, like I'm learning when I feel my older self creeping in, I'm like, wait a minute, find my center. Let's not repeat the things we did in the past. Let's center ourselves, come back to ourselves, come back to what we know. I'm talking about me as a we. I don't normally do that, but anyway. Yeah. And you'll hit times where you're triggered and you make mistakes and you repeat patterns. The importance is realizing when you've done it, and like this says, taking accountability for it. You're not going to get it all right or perfect, and you're not supposed to. You're meant to live life. You're meant to live to the fullest and truest expression of yourself. You're meant to feel fully alive. Take the higher path you feel called to. You are the hero of this story, and it's time to stop underestimating how powerful you are. You are capable of so much. You can be a fair and balanced ruler in your own life. All of the spiritual guidance you need is within you. Your connection with your own magic and with spirit is very strong, especially at this point in your journey. Remember to trust yourself. You, more than anybody, know where to go next, even if it's just to a place of peace and contentment in your psyche. That is also a path, and if you're coming from turbulence, that is more than enough. Sometimes the journey can only be walked from within. Go to that next place, do that next thing. It's time. Something's happening. You're about to embark on a new beginning. We have new beginning, new adventure, new love. You no longer underestimating your own power. I love it. I actually want to get a few more. Let's get 2 more. That one came out right away. Oh my gosh, it's Grandmother Willow. The portal, adventure, ancestors calling. Are you ready? And, you know, we see this person, they have their lantern. You know, they've been reflecting. They've been learning about their cycles. They've been following their intuition, following the signs of the universe, star energy. Swirls mean cycles, you guys. So, and I'm even seeing these roots look like DNA. And I feel like for some of you, you're actually healing generational trauma here by reflecting on your own journey. And yes, I do have Pocahontas right here. You can come in. All right, 17. I am exploring the callings of my soul and new beginnings. See, new beginnings again. Something's about to happen. The portal card is a positive omen that a loving and powerful spirit or ancestor is guiding you or trying to. They've assisted you many times before as signs, synchronicities, dreams, gut intuitions. They have even come briefly into your life through other people. They seek to help you into a new phase. Familiar whispers in the night have led you into the forest. You've received many gifts lately to aid you. You have a compass and a map, your heart and mind, to navigate with, a lantern, connection to spirit, to light your way, a journal, growth and vision, to learn from, and your trusted friend, Mr. Spidey the Spider. I think Mr. Spidey's right there. Isn't that interesting? Because I met George. Our relationship was short. I'm talking about a spider. And I don't know where George is, but I know that if I chase him, I'm just going to, you know, disturb his growth and stability. So I'm just going to wait for our paths to cross again. I'm not even kidding. Can you spot him? Yes, he's right there underneath that nasty cycle that we're working on. He'll stay close and keep an eye out. He will warn you when you are being too risky or naive or repeating a past cycle. Look at him in the cycle. You have a curious spirit, and you must never be ashamed of that. The callings we feel and the desires we hold also desire to be realized. These mysteries chose you, and they are seeking you. Will you seek them too? A tree gently asks you. You realize this tree is your ancestor. This could be your grandmother, because I did immediately say Grandmother Willow. And I feel like one of my guides is my grandmother, who passed away in 2016. So suddenly the roots of a tree untangle and create an opening, a deep portal swirling with magic and possibility. As the wise tree says, I know a place where you might find what you don't know you are searching for. You are looking for something, and something is looking for you. Are you ready? This is giving me like chills, because very early on in my spiritual journey, I met someone who told me they felt the energy of my grandmother around me, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. You know, my muggle mind was like, okay. And that started the journey into, you know, I often tell you guys, I always felt like I was looking for something. I always felt like I had a void within me. And this card speaks of that. It says, you've been looking for something, and something has been looking for you. Are you ready for this new beginning? So some of you might resonate with this being, you know, when you first awakened, or maybe you're going through this now. This is also symbolic of a new journey that you've been, for those of you who have been healing for a while. You know, like this card says, you have your lantern, which is your connection to spirit, which you've been working on. You have your journal that has, you know, what you've been learning about yourself. You have a compass. You've learned how to follow your heart and your soul, and you're ready for this new beginning. And something is looking for you. All of these cards say something's about to happen. She smiles. She already knows the answer. You already know the answer too. Stay grounded in who you are. This card has an energy of soul longing and yearning. If you felt a calling for something else, listen to it. Perhaps you're holding back because you're too comfortable with what is familiar and known. Embrace the unknown. No risk, no magic. If you don't cross the threshold, you will never know. And you guys, that's what I mean. Like when I first started awakening, you know, that perhaps you're holding back because you're too comfortable with what is familiar and known. And, you know, my soul was telling me that the way my life was going was not the right way. And I almost didn't make that jump. I almost didn't go down that wormhole, you know. I almost just said, this is the life I've made. I'm just going to live it. Like my mom and dad have said to me so many times. Anyway, interesting. This could be you, like, you know, leaving an old job behind, focusing on your soul path. You know, maybe you're done with what's comfortable with, you know, what your muggle self thought your higher calling was, and now you're ready to tap into your higher calling. However this resonates to you. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, look, we've come full circle. 7 on the bottom. That's amazing. Confirmation. Somebody said to me the other day, like, I don't resonate with these soul tribe readings. Then they're not for you. And then they said, I think your views on friendship are toxic. It's like, yeah, because I don't know how to have relationships with friends. Isn't that, like, that was my whole point. Anyway, and also I want to say to that person that when I was talking about that, I was talking about friends, muggle friends, talking to them about spiritual things. That's what I was talking about. Anyway, not going down that road. We have Be Patient, 11. The Sun, Manifestation, Power, 11:11. Be patient, it will come. If you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. That is, I watched that movie when I started spiritual awakening, and my mind was blown. Like, he just heard this, if you build it, they will come, or if you build it, he will come. And it was, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But it was just amazing. Like the whole movie, everyone thought he was crazy for building this ball field. And it does, it represents to me the craziness of spirituality and trusting that if you go head first, like that song, you know, she said shamelessly laughing at destiny, like accepting destiny and just jumping headfirst onto her path. Anyway. So be patient and it will come. And 7 is here again. And remember, I'm going to look at this card one more time, but it talked about a connection and letting yourself open up to this connection, whether it was new or returning. And so, yeah, we've come full circle because I was going to get 5 cards. 11, manifestation, power, masculine energy, 1111. So it's interesting because I feel like we have feminine energy and masculine energy in this reading. So that's very symbolic that you're balancing that within you. It could also be that you have someone, like that Lover's card said, coming towards you. This is on page 44, so we have 1144, if that's symbolic to anyone. Now is the time for you to fully realize that just like the sun, you are a powerful creator. Trust in this fiery and passionate energy that exists within your deepest core. We are all reflections of nature and possess qualities of the sun, characteristics of the ultimate potential of the healed masculine yang energy. Are you tapping into this center of unlimited creative energy and power? It's available to you. Now is a potent time for you to take physical and metaphysical action on your desires. They are moving closer to you. Stop overthinking and overanalyzing, which cause stagnation. Feel, embody, express. If you have pulled this card, it could also be a sign that you have been harnessing your yang energy, and the fruits of your labor are very ripe. You have done well, and it's time to trust in your efforts. You have balanced your energies of masculinity and femininity, and it has unlocked so much power within you. When yin and yang are united, the power of creation is in your hands. Manifestations are coming. And this is what I'm telling you guys. If you can learn how to balance those energies, that's when your manifestations come in. And that's what so many people that's my point. Like, if you do it, it happens. And so many people don't believe in the balancing of their own energy, and that's why their manifestations don't come in. Anyway, like I said, I feel it's really strange. As I grow and evolve, I feel more energy, and I can feel this energy of doubt. And it kind of feels, I said it was a wall, but it almost feels like a dome over me. Like there's this energy of fear and doubt of people kind of looming in the energy. Does that make sense? So I just feel like a lot of people may be going through tests right now and through those blockages to see if they can, like, are they truly surrendering to this journey? Anyway, I am channeling like crazy. Solar deities, is that right? Such as the Egyptian Ra, meaning sun, have been worshipped since antiquity? What is that? Ra was known as the self-created one who embodied the life-giving sun. Symbolically, many yogis do, is it yogis or yogais? Do sun salutation. I do know that one. Every waking day, an energizing sequence of poses that honors and imitates our star. I do know the sun salutation. I did take yoga once upon a time. Anyway, very beautiful. I don't know what I want to get you now. I think I might get you... I'm going to get you a message from your higher self. So let's see. That's interesting. A message from your higher self. Let's go. Message from your higher self. We have, feel the power of your blood and your ancestors. You are not alone. And we have ancestors here. So for some of you, you definitely have ancestral support, I'm hearing. Let's get one more. We have follow the path of your soul. Do not allow anyone or anything to stop you. Harnessing the masculine energy. Oh my gosh, that's magic. That's magic. It's magic. And I'm just going to show you this one. Live in this world as a dreamer, create a future paradise. And that's dreams become manifestations, my friends. So let's get the book for this one. Messages from your higher self. So your power animal for the next 21 days is a jaguar. I have pronunciation problems. For my entire life thought it was jaguar, but someone told me it was jaguar. Is it jaguar? It just sounds so weird to me to say jaguar, but apparently that's your spirit animal for the next 21 days. So if you see a jaguar, that's a sign that you're on the right direction. I like to say jaguar. It feels more, it feels better to me. Also, in one of my decks, the Jaguar card talks about looking at your shadows, looking at like trauma that's kind of been pushed away or swept under the carpet generation after generation, and about how you can actually find power with nourishing that shadow, the Jaguar within. Anyway, so generational trauma could be symbolic. An old saying describes an unshakable bond when it tells us that blood... An old saying describes an unshakable bond when it tells us that blood is thicker than water. You have drawn this card in order to remember your ancestors. They are not merely an unwavering source of strength, playing a key part in your destiny, but also a great source of knowledge and wisdom. You are connected to your ancestors through your blood. Feel it pulsing in your veins. Do not disown them, but instead walk in their footsteps. Honor and respect your roots. Think of the people in your family who have gone before you. One of them wants to contact you and guide you. Listen to their advice. It will come from a place of love that is older than our earth. So, right away, I feel the need to say this is not talking about people in your life right now. This is talking about ancestors from your past. The ranks of your ancestors include priests, priestesses, shamans, healers, holy women, and bearers of true knowledge. Listen out for them. Be attuned to them. Someone is calling your name. Your family tree is strong. It contains all the answers you seek. You are not alone or isolated, but are surrounded by those who have gone before. Try and establish a link with this realm and accept the blessings that come from within it, sensing what your ancestors wish to teach you. You can always call on them for strength and wisdom. You are not alone. So one thing I wanted to mention, somebody asked me the other day if I had any, I think it was Middle Eastern heritage or whatever in my ancestry. I have no idea. And I feel like this is a good card for me too, like for all of us, because I'm interested in looking into the roots of my ancestry and seeing where I came from. And maybe it would make sense why I feel called towards certain places, like Ireland. I really feel like there's something in Ireland for me. I can't help it. I've always been weird connection with Ireland. Anyway. Just like I have a connection to India in some sense. The only thing I know about my ancestors is that deep in my ancestry, there was, I think I shared this on my Patreon, not here, but there was actually a Métis. She was the daughter of the chief. And while she didn't have the term princess, she was the daughter of the chief, and did I already say Métis? Métis heritage, daughter of a chief, fell in love with, I don't know, settler, I don't know what the proper terminology is, with someone named John Smith. And everybody would always tell me, that sounds like Pocahontas, you're just copying Pocahontas. No, I'm actually being honest. And that's where the name Smith entered my mom's side of the family. So that's the only thing I know about my ancestry. That's the only thing I know. So maybe by looking into your ancestry, you can feel more connected with your ancestors. Like if I knew that I had an ancestor that was some, I don't know what, like lived in Egypt or whatever, I would feel more connected to them. You know, it would be easier to connect to them. Anyway, soul tribe reading. Follow the path of your soul. Now is the time to follow the path of your soul. Listen, it's on page 34. This one was talking about following the path of your soul. It was on page 34 as well. This one talked about an ancestor guiding you. This one talks about an ancestor guiding you. This is not an accident. Out of all the decks I had, I intuitively chose these two, and the same messages are coming out. That's what I mean. Do not underestimate the magic anymore. Now is the time to follow the path of your soul. Do not let negative vibrations in the outside world, like that dome that I'm feeling of negative vibrations, distract you. All of your spiritual helpers will now receive very powerful support from the divine source of all being in order to better guide you with speed and purpose towards happiness and fulfillment. Place the stag, a subtle fellow traveler, at the head of all your energetic companions and follow it. The whole universe supports you and sends you the divine light of clarity and the unwavering determination. Do not squander this great moment being gifted to you. Open all of your senses and chakras and allow everything that is now flowing to you to flow through you. You are at the threshold of a path that will take you to a higher dimension and expanded consciousness. Like these cards said, isn't that magical? Make use of every opportunity that now presents itself to follow the paths of your soul and mastery. For you, this means never passing judgment again from this moment on. Now listen, that is easier said than done, my friend. If you actually pay attention to how many times a day you show judgment against other people, it would... I used to think like judgmental meant like different things than it does. Being judgmental is more than just being like, oh, that person is so blah, blah, blah. Like not that type of judgmental. If you stop and just become aware of how judgment and being judgmental can come out in so many things, in the way you like, just if you stop and become aware of it, it can become quite shocking. Anyway. Be glad and grateful and prepare yourself with meditation and by following a light diet. Keep the stag beside you at all times. Observe it. It will bring you wise advice and may guide you to a worldly or spiritual teacher. Both are good. It is now more important than ever not to let anything throw you off your balance, your center. Do you see the magic? I love it. All right, I'm going to leave it here, my friends. I thought that was pretty freaking amazing. Out of all the decks I have, someone asked me this morning, how many decks do you have? How do you possibly choose them? I choose them intuitively. And look at that. That's crazy business. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you this week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Remember to fill your own cup up. Remember to put your air mask on before helping others. Remember the plane. Remember. I'm telling you, damaged child sat in the seat watching the people on the plane thinking, why would I put my own mask on? I should be helping others. It's selfish to save myself. Like, not healthy. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.